The rally in Hyperliquid is unstoppable. The hype token continues to climb. The question is, why is that? How much more can it go up? What's the upside potential? Who's buying here? Who's selling here? Is this all a pump and dump? Is this manipulation? Or is there something fundamental going on? Now, this is not the first video on Hyperliquid on this channel. I published one 6 days ago and the video outperformed an average video slightly by 19%. The video was published when the price was $24. Now we are at almost $33. So in case you want to be early next time, feel free to subscribe over here, right? I publish videos regularly on tokens that still have upside potential and that have positive momentum. Now, Hyperliquid is its own blockchain paired with a perpetual futures exchange, a decentralized perp exchange. So there are bets on the price with leverage on several altcoins, and you don't just have to buy spot, you don't have to buy the token itself, you simply just bet on the price development. And this happens with a lot of efficiency with its own dedicated blockchain, and that's why the total value locked of Hyperliquid is exploding. We now have more than 3 billion worth of assets deposited on Hyperliquid. And of course, with every altcoin investment, we take on more risk, and so we want to get more return compared to just holding Bitcoin, for example. And so this is the hype token price development relative to Bitcoin. It outperformed Bitcoin by 124% in the last few days, and that outperformance is quite consistent. Now, is this all fundamentally justified? Let's have a look at the usage. What we've got over here is the trading volume of the top 10 decentralized perpetual futures exchanges. On the left, this is a very long-term chart starting in April of 2021, but on the right, we've got this just for the last few months. And just have a look at how Hyperliquid is dominating the space now. 65% of perp trading volume now happens on Hyperliquid in the span of just a few days. The same is true for the total value locked. Hyperliquid now has 71%. Just have a look at the cumulative inflows over time. During the span of less than a month, we now have more than 1 billion, and this tends to continue to grow. And so who is suffering? It's all of the old perpetual futures. One of the leading protocols was DYDX. It's down 27% in the last week alone. Have a look at the entire space. This is the decentralized perp futures market. Hyperliquid now has a market cap of 11 billion and DYDX is at 700 million. Just have a look at all of this. They are all down in the last week significantly. The hype token is definitely eating up the entire space. It's becoming now a monopoly. But then the question is, if the market cap is already more than 10 times the next contender, what is still the upside here? How much higher could hype really go? Instead of looking at the perp futures market, we can just look at the decentralized exchange market in general. But even here, Hyperliquid is already at number 1. It's larger than Uniswap, which is the largest spot decentralized exchange. You've probably used Uniswap by now. It's even larger than Uniswap and Radium combined. Radium is the largest decentralized exchange on Solana. What about all of DeFi? Hyperliquid is here at number 3. It's getting close to Chainlink in terms of market cap, which is the leading decentralized exchange Oracle. So this is the price feed for borrowing and lending platforms. It's a central place for real world assets. And Lido staked Ether is the main protocol for staking Ethereum. There's billions and billions in Lido. Now, the macro picture very much looks like we are at a pivotal moment. It seems like we are very close to an altcoin rotation because the risk to reward for Bitcoin at this moment is not that great. Have a look at this long-term Bitcoin chart and check out those two red lines. At those points of time, the upside potential for Bitcoin wasn't that great anymore relative to the downside. So this is a very long-term chart, right? We did not yet hit the top, but we are relatively close to the top. Now, those lines are not scientific whatsoever, right? They're simply just curved lines drawn on the Bitcoin chart, but they tend to connect the tops relatively well and they tend to connect the bottoms relatively well. Currently, we are very close to such a high risk, poor reward situation for Bitcoin one more time. Now again, have a look at those two red lines. Those points in time correspond with those red lines over here. This is the Bitcoin dominance. The Bitcoin dominance crashed when the risk to reward for Bitcoin wasn't that great anymore. What does a Bitcoin dominance crash mean? It means that Bitcoin as a fraction of all of crypto is going down. In other words, it's altcoin season. The altcoins outperform Bitcoin at that point in time. Now, historically, that rotation happened when Bitcoin dominance was at around 70%. This time it seems to happen a bit earlier, but it looks like we have already started the rotation again, because the risk to reward is not that great at the moment for Bitcoin. People want to get the multiple X returns, and they're not anymore that easy to be made with Bitcoin. And so what asset class performed the best in the last 7 days? It is the risk on categories. It's things like frog themed tokens or AI memes. And so the largest of the AI meme tokens are things like Fartcoin, which is currently at 44 cents, which had been covered on this channel when it was still at 5 cents. Or it's things like Goceus Maximus, which is currently at 56 cents, and it was at above $1.30 at one point, which was covered on this channel when we were still at 25 cents. Or here, another AI meme, AI16Z, currently at 67 cents. And we talked about this here at 28 cents. Now, how did I discover tokens like this that early when they still make multiple X returns? The answer lies in on-chain analytics and in wallet tracking. I like to track wallets of other insiders, of influencers, of top traders. And so have a look at the recent trade. I published this in the Gerhard Trade channel on December 10th, how I'm buying some Alchemist AI. And since then, the price appreciated by more than 40%. And it is the best performing token on Solana in the last 24 hours. This is not random. This is not luck. This is all happening because of wallet tracking, because we get transactions whenever influencers and top traders are buying. Here, have a look at this recent trade by Crypto Gains. He bought Morph AI, and this is the chart. This is a channel of Crypto Gains. He's got 140,000 subscribers, and he talks about small cap cryptocurrencies regularly. And we are tracking 55 of his wallets. Or have a look at Crypto Banter. They've got 1.1 million subscribers. When they talk about a token, especially a small cap cryptocurrency, of course, this generates a lot of attention. Attention turns into purchases. Purchases turn into rising prices. And so we are tracking 33 of Crypto Banter's wallets. Or check out Alex Becker, 1.5 million subscribers. Through on-chain analytics, we found 12 of his wallets. Those are not official wallets, right? Those are wallets that we find through various means. Now, what kind of means? It's explained over here in this tutorial course. It's 8 videos in total. It's explaining how to find influencer wallets, how to track influencer wallets, and how to then interpret the signals that we get from the tracking. It's all part of the premium membership of this channel. Premium is not just about wallet tracking, it's also about on-chain analytics, it's also about backtesting, it's also about risk mitigation and portfolio diversification. There's more than 100 tutorial videos in total in premium. And so if you want to stop just chasing the trends, if you want to be early, then feel free to check it out. It's currently $165 per month. There's also a 1-week money back guarantee. So in case you don't like premium, in case you don't learn anything, just message me within the first 7 days and I'll refund you 100%. There's really zero risk for you. Really, the central question now is how much higher can Hyperliquid go? What is still justified? What kind of market caps are realistic from here? Because obviously Hyperliquid will not become larger than Ethereum or larger than Bitcoin. But what is a ceiling? Let's have a look at other layer 1 blockchains, because Hyperliquid is not just a decentralized perpetual futures exchange, it's also its own blockchain. Let's compare Hyperliquid with Solana. So Hyperliquid has a market cap of 11 billion. Solana has a market cap of 95 billion. Let's compare the trading volume in the last 24 hours. Now, Hyperliquid had a trading volume of 700 million. Solana had a market cap of 6.4 billion, so roughly 9 times. The market cap is roughly 9 times. The trading volume is roughly 9 times. It seems like the current valuation of Hyperliquid, if you just look at trading volume relative to market cap, is fair. The question is, will we continue to grow in the trading volume, or is this just a temporary spike and we're going to crash down in the trading volume? There's no more growth in the perpetual futures market. All the growth has to now come from other tokens on the blockchain. So that's tokens like PER or Vapor or HFun. And a lot of those tokens are doing quite well in the last 24 hours. Are people going to bridge funds over to Hyperliquid, not just to use the perp exchange? Are they bridging funds in order to trade those tokens? If the answer is yes, then potentially Hyperliquid might take away market share from Solana as well. And then the relative valuation of the Hype token relative to SOL might go up further. If you got some value out of this video, feel free to subscribe. I publish videos regularly. A like would be very much appreciated as well. It helps the channel grow. See you in the next video or see you in premium. Cheers.